So I'm headed out to a secret event this morning to hunt for some comic books. Where am I going? Who's going to be there? What am I going to pick up? We'll see. Next on this video from Bronzeville Comics. Hey there, comic book community. This is Jim from Bronzeville Comics coming to you with another video. And in this, I am headed to the 3 Men in a Basement secret comic crawl. I had been to their comic crawl last fall. I couldn't make one in the spring. So I'm headed to the one now, and they were much more public about the previous ones, but this one's more of a hush-hush event. So by now, the word is out. It's no longer a secret because the event has already happened. You know, I'm going to see what I pick up. I've got some great members of the comic book community. They're going to be there. Obviously, the 3 Men in a Basement. Otto is spearheading this, so we're going to see what we bring home in terms of comic books. We're going to see where we go, and let's check it out. So we are at our first stop here on the crawl. And look who's filming.
Look who's here also filming. We got Jim
from
from
360
Bronzeville Comics.
What's
up?
up?
Man? How you doing?
Good. Sporting the new glasses, I see.
Hey, yeah, I just got them yesterday.
Yeah. So the first stop on the crawl was Brick House Comics. Now, Otto had 3 Men in a Basement had set this up as a super secret crawl. He wanted to limit the number of participants so as not to overwhelm the stores that we were going to. And it was a really great group of folks that were there. I obviously met up with Joe from 360 Comics, Pope of Chili Town. There were so many people there that I know from going to shows, going to other places, from Instagram, from whatnot, from YouTube. It was really a great time because anywhere you turned, when there was someone digging in a box next to you, you were able to have a conversation. And that was really great. So the first stop was Brick House Comics, and they had some wall books, and I was kind of being a little more budget conscious. So nothing that I really needed was up there. So I took a pass on those. And then I was looking at a video that Otto had posted recently from the show. I'm like, oh man, that's a nice book. Oh man. Like, you know. So they had some bins marked 70% off. I did not dig through those. My buddy Joe from 360 Comics was digging through those. I was digging through the 50% off boxes. And I picked up a handful of books for the personal collection. I'm trying to complete this run of Batman Family. This is funny when you got, you know, also featuring Elongated Man, the Phantom General, and Fat Man. I'm picking up the DC 100 pagers, so there were some Superman families in there, and I thought, you know, nice shape, can't beat the price of those. I stumbled across this book, and I have most of the run, but I didn't have the first 4 issues, so I picked up the first issue of Elementals. This is by Bill Willingham. I pronounce it Comico. Some people pronounce it Comico. I'm Team Comico. A Comico book from the 80s. And then I found this. It was just... I like these gold key photo TV covers. My Favorite Martian, #1. With Ray Walston on the cover there. Bill Bixby didn't make it to the cover, but Ray Walston on the cover. Ray Walston, actually, was in 2 Academy Award-winning Best Pictures. He was in The Apartment in 1960 and The Sting in 1973. Just a little Oscar trivia there on that Emmy Award-winning actor. Anyway, then I was digging through and just picking up some books that kind of a little bit of spec book. You know, this, I had just seen Black Adam Friday night, so Black Adam here fighting the Justice Society, specifically Atom Smasher on the cover, the Alex Ross cover. Can't go wrong with Alex Ross. 52 week 12, this is appearance, first time Adriana Tomaz becomes Isis, the second Isis, after the Saturday morning cartoon one. The Ghost Rider Glow in the Dark cover. Crisis #1 newsstand, and I was looking for sharper copies. Some of these I'll have to take a closer look at to see if they are gradable. George Perez, Wonder Woman 18, first modern appearance of Cersei. She'd appeared in Golden Age and appeared in Justice League 102, but the Justice League 102 was decidedly the Earth 2 version. Tank Girl Odyssey, when I was doing my DC 1990s list, this was a book that I think made the top 10. This is a book I've had before. Adam Hughes cover of Zorro #3, first appearance of Lady Rawhide. A little bit of spec here. Young Avengers 4 Kang cover. Kang is going to be all over the place over the next few years. It was hard to exactly find comps on this, but I picked up this Total Eclipse sneak preview. A pretty hard book to find. Interestingly, this character here is not Man-Thing. That's the Heap, the first swamp monster in comic book history. He was in the Airboy comics in the 1940s. And then when they rebooted the Airboy run with, I think it was Chuck Dixon and Tim Truman in the 1980s in Eclipse, he was in that. This is a book. It was kind of a joke when it came out because it did not sell well at all. But there's a lot of spec around this, and I said I've actually been kind of low key looking for a copy of this potential Spider-Verse character, and that's Spider-Man India. This later Marvel Tales with the Todd McFarlane cover, the original X-Men. He did some of the covers there; those have some value. Secret Wars 2, first appearance of Lord Emperor Doom. There we go. Beautiful cover here by Mike Mignola. Detective Comics, number 583, first appearance of the Ventriloquist. This book, I picked up a bunch of these earlier in the year, but again, Wonder Man, #1, the first of his ongoing series. They have not yet announced casting on that property. Superman 18, first full Doomsday in a newsstand edition. Still the first print. This, I thought, Price is Right. I've gotten this graded a couple times. If he's coming, this is the first full appearance of Bishop. Spider-Man 253 in a newsstand, first appearance of Rose. An Adam Hughes Wonder Woman cover. 153. You saw the first appearance of Lady Rawhide. Here's another Adam Hughes Lady Rawhide cover. I think he's going for something there. This is an interesting book. I had it graded, but it was actually a little bit lower grade. If this is actually Marvel Knights Wave 2 Special Edition sketchbook. This is the first appearance in preview of Yelena Belova. Hasn't yet, not a book that's kind of attracted attention just yet. This property's coming. Secret Invasion, #1. Recent news has kind of pushed this to the back burner, but I've been picking these up if I find them in the right shape. Flash #1, first time. Wally Wood takes on the mantle of The Flash. Silver Sable in the Wild Pack #1. Figure the price was right in that. We could see her in the Sonyverse. Pick this up. Secret War, not Secret Wars. Secret War #2. This is the first appearance of Quake. Is Daisy Johnson gonna? Is it Daisy Johnson, the actress? Is reprise her role from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Some rumors to that effect. I picked up these two books. These are both. When DC and Marvel did a crossover in the mid-90s, they did a series of amalgam books in which they combined a DC character with a Marvel character or a team, like the X-Patrol, X-Men and Doom Patrol, or Spider-Boy, Spider-Man, and Superboy. And so the two ones that are most collectible from that run, and these are both newsstands, is Legends of the Dark Claw, combination of Wolverine and Batman, and the animated version, very much in the style of the Batman animated series Dark Claw Adventures. This is a book I have a number of copies of, but this is the second print of Batman 457, first appearance of Tim Drake in the Robin costume. Second print tells us this is a new Robin issue. They had a bunch of Teen Titans Go. I was looking for the keys, picked this one up. First appearance of Wonder Girl in Teen Titans Go. The Donna Troy character. Even though the show has been canceled, or the movie, the HBO Max movie, this character's coming. I pick up Zatanna keys whenever I see them. Zatanna Special, Gray Morrow cover. This I couldn't resist. Nice copy for a square-bound book. And, of course, this is a character that has been on fire. Giant Size Man Thing 4. First solo story of Howard the Duck in there. It's a nice copy. X-Men 213, this classic Alan Davis cover. And that's the kind of book I was looking. If it is a 9.8 contender, that is a nice book to have. X-Men, at this point, Uncanny X-Men 184, first appearance of Forge. Fantastic Four 209, the first appearance of Herbie the Robot, who was the character in the 1970s animated series, not the 1960s one. So for your kids at home, there's a Fantastic Four animated series in the 60s, which drew very heavily from the original Lee Kirby books. And then there was an animated series in the 70s, which was its own thing. But they didn't have the Human Torch. They had, instead, the fourth member of the Fantastic Four was this unctuous little robot that flew around Herbie. I guess they didn't want to put the Human Torch in a Saturday morning cartoon for fear that in emulating their favorite hero, children would immolate themselves. New Avengers 40, first appearance of Varenki the Skrull Queen. This is a book I've been looking for, and was happy to find it there. Richard Dragon Kung Fu Fighter number 5, first appearance of Lady Shiva. She's become a popular character. And then I picked up, these were like in separate boxes. I picked them both up. Fantastic Four 272 and 273. The cameo and first full appearance of Nathaniel Richards, Reed Richards' dad. And there's all sorts of connections from the Richards family to Kang. And so we don't know exactly how that's going to play out. This is a book that made hot lists. This is Daredevil 196. First crossover with Daredevil and Wolverine, and it's a newsstand. New Avengers 27, first appearance of Clint Barton as Ronin. That kind of came and went with the Endgame movie, but still, I thought for the price, it was good. I think this is the second one of these. Yeah, Secret Wars 2, first appearance of Lord Emperor Doom. And then Sandman number 9, first appearance of Nada. This Lover of Sandman. We saw that play out in the animated series. And then I picked up some of these anniversary picture frame covers. New Mutants 45 with Magic. The Marvel Tales. Obviously with Spider-Man. And Transformers 22 with whatever Transformers character that was. I'm a little old for Transformers. Never really. That was not watching cartoons when that show came out. So, that was it for Brick House. I settled up. The entire pile was $400. And so I thought that was a great price. And then I realized I gotta save some money. So it was on to our next stop. So picked up a big stack of books. at the first stop, which was Brickhouse Comics. I am now headed, I'm probably a little bit behind the curve. I think most of the rest of the crawlers are already over at Comics and Coffee. I did spend more money than I wanted to at the first stop. So, but there were just so many good deals on high-grade books. Unfortunately, I think I'm going to put a lot of those books into my grading and cleaning and pressing pile to get graded. Some of them I'm just going to move. But I was kind of looking for, especially like in the copper stuff, some higher grade books. Bought some books for the PC. So, but you know, my thing is it has to be a good deal in order for me to grab the book. I bought books that I thought were good deals. We'll see how it all works out in the end. So we're headed off to Coffee and Comics. And I just picked up a little slice of pizza to hold me over. And I was there for 3 hours digging. So it was fun. A lot of comic book talking with the other members of the community. And we'll see you on the other side. So after grabbing a quick slice of pizza and getting lost because the connection between my GPS and my car was malfunctioning, I was driving on the highway because it was about a 35-minute drive between the first stop and the second stop. And I'm looking at I glance over at the display screen on my car, my GPS. I'm like, okay, exit's in 3 miles. I'm driving. Exit's in 3 miles. Wait, what? Exit's in 3 miles. It wasn't changing. So I ended up like overshooting where I had to turn off and, rerouting, had to unplug the phone, plug it back in. Finally got there. And I kind of, we went to Coffee and Comics, and he had books kind of separated by Marvel and DC. I went over to the DC section, and I was trying to limit myself. So again, I didn't get any big books on purpose, at least. There were some really nice ones in here. First, books for the PC, Forever People 5. Figure I'm going to try to finish this run. This is a 1971 issue, and you can see November of 1971, the 25 centers ran from mid-71 to mid-72. So if it's the latter part of the year for a 25 center, November here, it's a 71 book. If it's the early part of the year, it's a 1972 book. Trying to complete my Super Team Family run. I don't even know which ones I need. That just cover didn't look familiar to me. Brave and the Bold 128. I'm trying to get all of these bicentennial covers, much like people collect the Marvel anniversary borders there. And then I decided to throw these in. Doorway to Nightmare. I have 1 and 2, and this is 3, 4, and 5, which I think completes the run. Pretty sure. Some William Michael Kaluta covers. Did he do all the covers? I think at some point Marshall Rogers took over. And then while he was settling up, because not all the books were priced, he basically said 20% off. And as he was going, he had a Golden Age box, and I just went over and I'm like, gotta have this. Tootie and Muldoon. I'm a huge fan of Car 54. This was a hilarious show. Early 1960s, filmed in the Bronx. Same creative team that did Sergeant Bilko, if you're familiar with that. And you may not recognize Fred Gwynne for his more noted role in popular culture. Without his makeup, Fred Gwynne played Herman Munster. And he also, for you younger folks, he played the judge in My Cousin Vinny. And Fred Gwynne actually taught Shakespearean acting at, I think it was at Yale. And then I picked up some spec books, and I got a really great deal. So there were a lot of books that weren't priced, and I was a little unsure. They say, yeah, just bring them up. He kind of figures it out. Okay. Batman and Robin #1. This is the first full appearance of Professor Pig, who is rumored to be a potential character that they're going to use in that Matt Reeves universe, potentially an HBO Max series. This is a book I've been picking up. This is a 450 Detective Comics 453. It's the first appearance of Black Spider, who seems like another character I might be familiar with, but it is also the first appearance of the Calculator. I'm a high school math teacher. That makes sense. I did not realize until recently when I looked at a copy I had picked up that the Calculator's first appearance is in the Atom backup story in this issue, not in a Batman story. Let me save those. Those kind of towards the better part of this haul. Nightwing #1. Nice book. Again, some of these books do they grade out. This is a 1973 book, Wonder Woman 205, with this kind of classic Bronze Age bondage cover. Her strapped to this missile. Wonder Woman 121. This is the first appearance of the Wonder Woman family. And what's curious about this is that it is, again, this was one of the non-priced books. It was, Wonder Girl was not a separate character, despite what the editors and writers of Teen Titans thought. They thought she was a sidekick. She was actually a younger Wonder Woman. This was a book I've been looking for, and I found it a couple times now. This is Flash 198, which, as a backup, has the first solo Zatanna story. So, again, not priced. I picked up these 3 issues of Supergirl. 18, 19, and 20. These are all variant covers by Art Germ. And they draw a nice price. Teen Titans 8. This is the first cameo appearance of Rose Wilson as Ravager. Her first appearance as a child is in Deathstroke the Terminator 15. And this is 37, is the first cameo appearance of Miss Martian, who's become quite a popular character, especially in the Young Justice animated series. We also saw her on the Supergirl TV show. Underappreciated book, Legends #1. First appearance of Amanda Waller. Amanda Waller, it seems, my guess is the plans for the DC Extended Universe are basically Amanda Waller is the amoral, Machiavellian DC Comics, DC Extended Universe version of Samuel L. Jackson's Nick Fury. She's going to be a lot of the connective tissue in these properties going forward. Second time I picked up this book that day is week 52, week 12. Adriana Tomaz becomes Isis. That character was in the Black Adam movie, and we all knew she was going to be in. No spoilers. I also picked up these 2 books. Infinite Crisis 5, the Jim Lee cover, which has the first cover appearance of Jaime Reyes' Blue Beetle, and the George Perez. George Perez is the A cover, but the more sought-after cover is this cover, because this book is the first appearance of Jaime Reyes as Blue Beetle. He appears just picking up the Scarab in issue #3 of this series. And Zola Madureira from Cobra Kai is portraying Blue Beetle in a film they're shooting, which is supposed to get a theatrical release from Warner Brothers Discovery. Fingers crossed, hasn't been canceled yet. Then I took a quick look-see over in the Marvel pile. I picked this book up, Marvel Premiere #7. This is the first cover appearance of Wongers there. And then I saw this book. This is the final issue of Mark Spector Moon Knight with this classic Stephen Platt Stephen Platt cover. His covers, I think it's the last 5 issues of that book, are really sought after. So that was the haul from Coffee and Comics. So that entire pile of books that I got from Coffee and Comics, I was a little surprised because a lot of them weren't priced, so I was uncertain, but I knew the values of them. $120. It was a great deal. I got some books I really wanted, and if you know I have been collecting both covers of Infinite Crisis 5 and Infinite Crisis 3. Just watch my unboxing coming up later this week. The books I'm coming back from CGC. You'll see that to be true. I'm a big believer in the Jaime Reyes Blue Beetle character, and I've been leaning into that pretty hard. And I mean, those Wonder Woman books, the Platt Moon Knight book, the Zatanna story in Flash, just a lot of great books. I was anticipating like about twice that amount to pay, so I think I got a really great deal there. So we were off to our last stop. Stop number 2 we completed, Comics and Coffee. I basically, because I wanted to control myself, I only looked through the DC books. I picked up a couple of Marvels and just a fun kind of throw-in cool little Dell Gold Key book from the 60s. You'll see it when I go through everything. Got some nice books, a nice deal. So now we're headed to Sarge's. I've never been to Sarge's because I didn't. It's really like in the opposite direction of where I live. So I'm heading away from home. But I got the entire day off. The wife and kids, they're doing their thing. I had the day to just kind of do comics, and then we're going to grab some dinner afterwards. So it's been great just talking with comics with everybody and everything. So Sarge's has a lot of, I guess, unfiltered backstock is probably the best way to describe it. So we're going to be digging, and goodness knows what we're going to find. So, yeah, we'll wrap it all up afterwards. The last stop of the crawl, the last comic book stop, was the basement at Sarge's. And I'm going to hold that off for another video because I just, don't have time to cover it all in this video. So I will check out a video later on with part 2 of my comic book crawl haul. And here you can check out a couple of my other videos. And this is Jim saying until next time, enjoy your comics.